morning. Welcome to a new edition of our show titled Speak of Africa. We're very, very happy to welcome you. First, we'll have to begin the show of today by thanking all our viewers and subscribers. Many of you are communicating with us and we appreciate that. Some of you call us and we like that. That's what this show is about. This show is not just another show which just shares the news or analyzes the news. We want to empower you with information, new technology that can change your life for the better. Before you can think of changing Africa or making Africa great again, you have to be great yourself. So if you are a slave, you cannot really do much because a slave is not free. So you have to be free politically, socially, and economically. So that's really the goal of this show. We want to make the average African to be free, okay? And we thank those who are watching us. We promise you more information that is going to be useful, that you can use every day in your life, in your work. For those who are still working jobs, we're telling you, don't worry, we're going to change that pretty soon. Especially if you're living in the United States of America, there's no reason why you should be working menial jobs. You should be able to own your own business. As they say, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. When I came here, I washed dishes, I worked just like any other African. But I asked myself, if I am in the most prosperous nation on earth, why should I be washing dishes? With all the education I have, why should I be washing dishes? When I asked myself those questions, I decided to change my life, okay? Instead of looking at myself as a victim of circumstance, I started looking at myself as a master of my own destiny. And today, I've been living my life. I've been living a dream life. And there's not much I have to regret about. I'm happy with my life. I live well. I'm making money. And I think I'm happy. So I really want our viewers to also share in this prosperity. Because when you live in the most prosperous nation on earth, you should be prosperous. That's even what our Lord Jesus Christ wants us to be. Okay? So we salute those viewers and subscribers who are taking the show to the next level. Every day we watch our numbers, they're increasing. Some of you have told us that you are really afraid. You view the show, but you are afraid to subscribe. And you complain that you are afraid to be tagged as people who are supporting revolution in Africa. Well, we respect your opinion, okay? As they say, cowards die many times before their death. So if you decide that in life you want to be a coward, that's your problem. Decide to be a coward and die a coward. That's your life, that's your choice. But for those who really want to change their life for the better, we're telling them to subscribe to this show so that each time when we have new information, we can share it with you. In fact, in the next few weeks, we're going to be unfolding a lot more stuff that is going to be very, very useful. So those who subscribe will be able to benefit from this information. This is going to be practical information that you can use to start your own business, or if you have a small business and you don't know what to do, I have the expertise to help you grow this business. I started my business from my kitchen table. I didn't have any money. So my father did not leave me a lot of money. I came from Africa with nothing. So if I live the life I live today, it's thanks to my use of my knowledge. I studied the environment and tried to make it work for me. Okay? I did not just sit there and complain. When you sit and complain, that's just not reality. Okay? So those who want to just sit and complain and say, okay, no, I'm afraid to subscribe because they'll be tagging me as a bad guy. Sure, stay poor, okay? And die poor. That's your problem. But for those who want to really change their life for the better, we're encouraging them to subscribe to this show because we're assembling a band of so many talented Africans who can be taking this message to a broader audience. Soon we'll be doing streaming and we'll have a lot of technicians and experts who can really help to take our message far and wide, okay? So we thank our subscribers because without them, our message will not really be circulating far and wide. Also, we want to thank our customers. When we produce this show, it costs us money. It costs us money to produce this show. And we sponsor it without getting support from any source. So that's why we're really independent to say what we want to say. This is why some people like Facebook, YouTube are complaining that our show is shocking. Our show is shocking because we can afford to tell you the truth. We don't need money from anybody who can control us because we have the money and we're going to take the show to bigger heights because we have the money to finance it. Our businesses are doing well. So we want to thank all our customers. Without you, we will not really have the resources to put together to make this show work. So we're thanking you very, very much, people who are supporting all our businesses. As you know, we're in different businesses, especially in the finance field, okay? We're in income tax preparation, real estate, insurance, and business building, okay? So we thank those who have been making it possible for us to make more money. In fact, our businesses are thriving. We're really glad this is happening. All our businesses are thriving, and it looks like our real estate business is going to move into a second gear. So this is good, and we're going to bring a lot of people to share this success. In particular, we want to really thank the Asian community, because we think when we look at our numbers, they're really the ones who are really supporting us a lot. And so far, the way things are going this year, it looks like the members of the Asian community gave us over 80% of the gross revenue that the business has made so far. And when we look at this Asian community, we pay special attention to people who come from Vietnam. That's not the reason why we've been covering Vietnam recently. So you may think that, oh, maybe you guys were covering Vietnam because they are patronizing you a lot. No, we're covering Vietnam because there's a war going on there, and as we've told you many times, there's a war that has been going on in La République du Cameroon. People have been killed, people have been dying in the northwest and southwest regions of the country. So we've been highlighting all these bad experiences so that people can know the plight of our people. And that's why we've been highlighting this. For today's show, we're not just going to talk about business, we're going to take you now to a new phenomenon, which we call Cold War 2.0. For a while now, we've been telling you about what is happening in the motherland. We don't just want you to have a pedestrian way of looking at the African scene, okay? We want to raise your level of perception to a higher realm so that you can think big.
$250 to $6,000. Quick tax refund advance made easy. It's tax season 2019. The Christmas and New Year holidays are over. Everybody's talking about the PJ tax service, the new kid in town on H&R Block's block. Why? Money, money, money. Spread the good news. Quick tax refund advance is here. It's big, bigger than ever. Put big money in your pocket fast. PJ Tax Service. Nobody gets your tax money back faster, instantly, quickly, and immediately. 3 tax refund disbursement choices for you in less than 24 hours. Visa e-card, paper check, and direct deposit. Get your money back without delays. PJ Tax Service has your back. It is your money, so get it now. PJ Tax Service. You like the way we do your taxes. PJ Tax Service. You feel like a lottery or a sweepstake winner. Act now. Call 301-593-4879 or 301-593-4897. Or come to our office, 11207A, Lockwood Drive, Silver Spring, Maryland, 20901. Or you can visit us online, www.pjtaxservice.com.
When we look at Africa, we don't just describe it in a comedic fashion. We try to look at the big problems. Then we come up with solutions to this problem. When we look at what is happening in Africa today, summarily, we'll call it Cold War 2.0. What's the Cold War? The Cold War is a term that has been used to describe the conflict between the United States of America on one side and the Soviet Union on the other side. But especially after the Second World War, these two superpowers were really vying for influence around the world. So instead of fighting each other directly, they were engaged in many proxy wars. Especially Africa saw so many of them. You look at Angola, Mozambique, South Africa, so many of those proxy wars. Okay, Ethiopia, the wars were fought all over the motherland because people were really choosing sides. So capitalism and socialism were really vying for the soul of the African. So that war was really happening during this first installment of the Cold War. Ultimately, what happened? The United States won this war. Because the United States is a very big country, and the United States is devoured by a big concept, which makes it for them to really grow. By contrast, the Soviet Union was really doomed to failure because from the very beginning, socialism and capitalism do not really work. They have not worked anywhere but in theory. But when you look at capitalism, it has worked in so many places in the world. So most people in the world would prefer to be capitalists instead of communists or socialists, which is why capitalism has been succeeding everywhere, okay? And socialism and communism have been failing everywhere. So when you look at this, this is what really happened. And what happened? Because capitalism believes in the production of resources using the factors of production, it was able to produce so much profits, okay, to a point that they could use this profit to really beat the Soviets. What did President Ronald Reagan do? He decided to challenge the Soviets to a game of production. Let's produce and let's see who can outspend the other. Americans were trying to compete with Americans. They got broke, okay? They could not compete. They lost all their resources. They collapsed. That's what resulted in the collapse of the Soviet Union. They were trying to compete with the Americans. The Americans, okay, come on. Let's pour it on. Let's go. The Soviets could not really compete. Now, Mr. Putin has started with a new dream of the restoration of the old glory of the Soviet Empire. Oil prices and gas prices have been going up, so he's thinking that he could use these resources to challenge the United States whenever he can do that. But we look at it like a short-term strategy. He makes a lot of noise. If somebody takes him out, the whole Soviet-US competition is over. Today, we know Russia is still intact, but Russia has lost all her client states. So Russia doesn't really have that big empire that Putin is dreaming about. And in fact, NATO is actually absorbing most of those countries. If you look at what is happening, most of those clients who used to be with the Soviets are not with Russia. They are choosing to work with the Americans. So they are becoming members of NATO. Every day, even by Russia's backyard, more of these countries are becoming clients, members of NATO. So it is really disappointing to the Soviets who have now become the Russians, okay? So every day they are seeing that America is by their backyard and they cannot do much about it. They can flex their muscles in Crimea, but it's not really going to work. The Americans are already positioning themselves to give the Soviets the second defeat. This time the Russians will take it because the Soviet Union has collapsed. But our main interest in this show today is how this affects Africa. Today there's this new rivalry between the Russians and the Americans. How is this rivalry affecting Africans? Well, I look at it more like a play, like a Shakespearean play. As Shakespeare used to say, all the world is a stage, all the men and women are merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. So it is with what is happening in Africa today. You have big men, you have strong men. These strong men are really playing roles, just like characters in a Shakespearean tragedy. Some of them are playing the roles of slaves. They are slaves to the Western powers. Some of them are playing the role of kings. They are kings who are really puppets. They pretend to be kings, but we know that they are not really kings because they don't really have any power. They take their command from their colonial masters. So that's the second group of actors. So they call themselves slaves and kings. So it's just like a movie you call Cops and Robbers. That's the kind of movie that is playing out in Africa today. So we start by looking at what is happening right now. Look at Gabon. We woke up this morning with news about Ali Bongo, the guy who is called the president of Gabon. We've been reporting about Gabon for a long while now. What is really happening? Ali Bongo got sick when he went to a meeting in Saudi Arabia many months ago. Since he returned to his country, he has never really been well. Okay? He has never really been able to recover from the stroke to rule the country. So every day we see signs that this individual is not able to perform his functions as president. So why is the world fooling itself? Why are the French colonial masters fooling Africans? Ali Bongo is just like a vegetable, okay? He cannot really do much. Why are they keeping him there as president while the people are suffering and nobody can really preside over their fate to help them solve their problems. Well, this morning we also saw American soldiers moving around Libreville. So we're telling you that soon something bad is going to happen in Gabon. A few months ago, a coup was really crushed. It was just a few disgruntled soldiers, but it is just a symptom of a bigger malaise. There's a lot of problems in Gabon, and watch out. We're going to make another prediction that soon people power will take Ali Bongo out because the people are just waiting for the right opportunity to strike. People power works. Soon the Gabonese will rise to really kick Ali Bongo out, and he will be history. So that would end another chapter in the book of Franc-Afrique, where France dominates Africa, takes all the resources. So we're going to see what will happen next.
Hey, yo, Shay, I thought you was going to take me to this place so I could get my taxes done. You know I'm trying to buy a new house. What's up?
Let's get it on. If you're searching for a house, call up my man Prince Ojong, the best in real estate. Take it from your guy Shake. When I say his services are the best in the states, word is born. He even take care of your tax forms, fat refunds. So come, get your business done. Consultations, financial organization, fast processing, no waiting. This man is amazing. The Prince.
Act now and call Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131. That's 240-350-1131.
After Gabon, we're going to move a little bit north. Okay? Let's move to Algeria. We've been reporting much on Algeria recently. People power has been working in that part of the country. Abdelaziz Bouteflika has been president since 1999. Even though he's in a wheelchair, he doesn't want to leave power. But as we've been reporting to you, the people have been fighting a whole lot to really kick this individual out. And we can see positive developments. As we say, positive developments happen when people come together and fight to kick out these dictators. And it is working in Algeria, okay? Finally, the military that was hesitant to do anything to topple Abdelaziz Bouteflika is doing just that, okay? The chief of staff just took some steps to tell the people that, well, we agree with you, President Bouteflika is not only fit to carry out his constitutional duties. So according to Article 102 of the Algerian Constitution, we have to really prepare to ease him out. And that's what's happening. So the people understand that the military is trying to save its own skin. So the military also is just a bunch of people playing the role of mercenaries. You would think that in a country, the military should be performing the role of a powerful institution that is nationalistic, which means they believe in the country and they want to help the country. Unfortunately, most of these people in the military, when you study Maslow's hierarchy of needs, are only concerned with the politics of the stomach. They don't really care about their country. When you look at the way people in the United States, for example, love their country, you ask yourself, why is it that Africans do not have patriotism? Why is it that Africans are not nationalistic? Why do they not love their country? Why are they suicidal? Why do they like to kill their country, take what their country has, and give it away to foreigners? What is really wrong with Africans? Those are the questions that you ask yourself when you watch a lot of what is happening in the world. And that's why we ask the military guys, what is wrong with you? Why must you be the slaves, mercenaries in your own country where you can be playing a positive role, a role where you can be great? Instead of taking orders from dictators, you should really use your arms to depose these dictators. Okay? They should not really be killing people and you are taking such orders. What about your conscience? No, think about it. Look at me in the eye. If you are a soldier, when they send you next time to go and kill an innocent person, think about it. Why are you doing this? Are you just afraid that they will kill you in return? So that's why we're asking people to mass, okay, and come together so that you can really fight these soldiers. When a soldier realizes that there are over 1,000 people He'll be afraid to shoot, because if he shoots one of you, the rest of you can really crush him. So which is why it's always good to gang up, protest en masse. Okay? When you do this, you make it impossible for the soldiers to really react, which is what has been happening in Algeria. The people came together en masse, even in Egypt during the Arab Spring. This is what happened. Don't just let a few people go out to protest. Try to protest in big numbers. When you do this, you make it impossible for the soldiers to target a few of you. So come out in numbers. When you're so many, it will be impossible for them to take any action. They'll be paralyzed by the sheer volume of their numbers. Look at the Algerian crowds. There are so many people on the street. So even the soldiers themselves are terrified. They are petrified by the sight of so many human beings. Okay? They themselves have the same problems you have. But it's just that they are giving them a few crumbs, and they are taking those crumbs and taking orders from despicable dictators. So Algeria now is solving its problem because the people have risen. The military, as an establishment, is trying to save its skin. So they are pretending to side with the people because they don't want to lose power. So the military should be providing a very useful role in a democracy, which is what we ask you to do. I remember back in the days, one of my law professors used to say, law without force is impotence. Yeah, we recognize the value of the military in African politics. But we don't want this role to be a negative one. We want it to be a positive one. So don't be the soldier of one person. Be the soldier of the country. You became a soldier to serve your country, not one person. When you start serving one individual, then you are not doing the wrong thing. So even God will not be happy with you. This individual came to power in 1982, as president. But he has been in the presidency for a long time, occupying many different positions. So when I see soldiers taking orders from this individual, then I just said to myself, they are really sick. Interestingly today, the Americans have had enough. President Trump, with his fire and fury strategy, has decided to impose sanctions on La République du Cameroon. Okay, most of the people who are really the junta running the country with Mr. Paul Biya are under a regime sanction. Okay, so the U.S. Treasury usually has two types of sanctions. They either have comprehensive sanctions or they have targeted sanctions. If you look at the Office of Foreign Asset Control, they really handle most of the issues dealing with sanctions. As we speak, Cameroon is going through a regime of sanctions, okay? And this is going to be terrible. In fact, some people just sent us some pictures a few minutes ago. These are pictures of a palatial mansion in Beverly Hills. As you know, Beverly Hills is one of the posh areas in Los Angeles, in California. When you hear of Hollywood, that's where dreams are made. That's where Mr. Paul Biya had spent much of the money of Cameroon to buy a big mansion for his daughter, who was going to school in California. This came into the fore when Mr. Chris Anu did some stories, and people started seeing how lavish a lifestyle that little girl was living. But we're not here to focus on the little girl. We're here to focus on the way Mr. Paul Biya wastes the resources of the country. People cannot even eat a meal a day, but you can see him squandering so much money in California. A few days ago, this house was put in the market, and our viewers sent us the pictures because I was surprised. I had heard about the house, but it never really interested me because myself, I don't really care about those mansions. But I was surprised when some of the viewers sent me pictures they had taken of the house. It's a beautiful house. You can take a look at a lot of the pictures we're showing you. You can see the front of the house. You can even see the little Biya daughter standing in front of the house. Then, of course, you can even see pictures of the kitchen, the living area, the swimming pool, most of the areas for the house. So the house is over 8 million, and it has been declining in value since the negative story about Biya and sanctions broke out. So people now know that, wow, this is a very bad idea. Wow, this is not good. So when you look at this house, that's another big loss for Cameroon. So it looks like the Biya regime is struggling to sell it quickly before America starts seizing their assets. But such houses don't sell very fast. I myself, I'm a real estate agent and broker. I know how this business works. Such big houses do not sell well because most people who buy them tend to pay cash. So it takes a while before the sale can go through. Ultimately, what is going to happen with this property is it's going to go through an auction, which means they're going to liquidate it. So the house is going to go to probably the highest bidder. So it will go through an auction process, and I don't think the Cameroonians will really benefit from this. So somebody will be paid. Definitely, I don't even want to be an agent to represent them. So don't bring the business to me. I don't need it. Okay? I like to stay clean. I like to do clean real estate business. So I don't even want to deal with that. So I don't want to sell the house for them. So just know that, my people, I'm not going to sell the house for them, even if they ask me to. But definitely they're not going to ask me to, because they know that if they do, I'm going to expose them. They know I'm going to expose them, so they will not even come to me to sell the house. But you can see pictures of the house. I repeat it because this is your money as Cameroonians. Cameroonians, wake up. You need to live a life of conscious existence, okay? Don't just live a humdrum life. Watch pictures of this house. You can see where the guy who calls himself your president, he's spending your money. He puts a lot of people in Kondengi, accusing them of corruption. Where did he get all this money to buy such a big mansion? Now look at the mansion. It's so big, and that's not the only one. Most of the other assets are hidden. In fact, we have stories that we're working on. Some of them will show you how this guy has been hiding your money that he has stolen in Switzerland. Okay? You see it. In fact, people are working on a lot of stories, and they're going to feed us with these stories pretty soon. So we're going to share these stories with you. And you're going to see exactly what is really wrong with Mr. Paul Biya. The way it looks now, we can really tell you now that the man is cornered. Okay, we told you this before. The Americans have really cornered this individual because they've had enough of this criminal who is walking away free. Right now, the man is even afraid to walk outside because he can be picked up. Because the way the Americans have arranged things, it looks like if he goes out of the country, they may pick him up. And so he himself doesn't even want to travel. We hear that a few days ago, doctors came from Switzerland to take care of him, so he could not really fly. In fact, the Hotel Intercontinental, which has been his home for so many years, has really told him to beat it. They don't want to see him again. So thanks to the protests of Cameroonians, especially Kemcha, who really started the whole revolution, they don't really want to see him there. And of course, we have other guys like Commissaire Zogo. Zogo also did well when he confronted Mr. Biya at a hotel in Paris. So most of these Cameroonians have really made Europe an unwelcome environment for the Cameroonian dictator. And so as we see it, he is just confined like a prisoner in his hermetic palace in Etudi. He cannot really travel. Even the Senate meeting that took place a few weeks ago, he could not really travel because he's afraid that he may be picked up. And the way things go, his health is not that good. And we just hear that the guy is just very depressed, and it's very funny now. When you look at him, he doesn't know what to do. So we just feel sorry for the guy, but we just wish him a clean exit. He should have really chosen a better path, but he's a stubborn individual. He should have chosen an easy path. They wanted him to leave. Even the AU provided an exit strategy for Mr. Paul Biya, but he refused to accept this exit strategy. Instead, he decided to stay in power and wear his diaper, which oozes a few times in a day. So we feel sorry that this individual has chosen this path, but we feel sorry for the military guys who are enabling this regime even now. So now they are now in a regime of sanctions, and they're going to see what will happen. This is just the first step. The next step, they are not just going to seize their resources, they're going to seize all the goods that they have stolen. And the third step probably will be they will have to be put in jail, because that's what criminals have to deal with. They have to put them in jail, okay? So we think that for this show, we've really shared some of the information that we think can really help you, and we really appreciate the fact that you've really watched this show, so you can really see the way the Cold War 2.0 is working itself out. You see the dictators playing games as kingmakers, slaves, and also mercenaries. So if you like this show, we're asking you to go ahead and subscribe. Okay? It is very, very easy to subscribe to this show. Don't be afraid. Most of the people that we love, we're telling you, don't be afraid. Okay? Subscribe to the show. Don't be afraid to subscribe. So those who tell you they are afraid to subscribe, well, don't follow their lead because they are going on the wrong road. you follow the right road and subscribe to the show and use the show to improve yourself, okay? So you cannot live a life just based on fear. Cowards die many times before their death. In fact, that's one of the things Julius Caesar once said, because you cannot just live your life as a coward, okay? Where you have to take instructions from somebody who is not God. Every day you take instructions from somebody who is not God. So we're telling you, brave the dictator. Have the courage to brave all these dictators, okay? Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Please, keep hope alive. Your life will be better, okay? And to help you end this show on a good note, we're going to give you a song that one of the artists composed for me, and I will ask you to share this song with me. The song is titled Prince Ojong. So enjoy the show and enjoy this song. Thank you very much.
Life insurance money secrets of millionaires and billionaires exposed. Discover how America's rich and famous exploit these arcane tools to build fabulous wealth. Why should these big white guys have all the fun? Let Prince Ojong, the celebrity author of The Miraculous Millionaire, show you the little understood life insurance way to riches. Are you still doubting the good things that life insurance can do for you? Trust strategies, estate planning, 401k rollover, annuity contract, cash value, education funding, executive benefits, income protection, life protection, living benefits, mortgage protection, tax-free retirement? Think and grow rich with life insurance. Your amazing journey to wealth begins by calling Prince Ojong at 240-350-1131.
Prince Ojong. Omasaki sende mule mama myaje. Unjate wa mo winde umyanga. Omasaki sende mudi mami myaje. Unjate wa mo winde umyanga. L'initiateur, le roi de l'Afrique. Tout ce qui touche devient de l'or. Prince Ojong. Omataki sene mule mama mnyanje. Onyate wa mo winde umyanga. Omataki sende mutima minyande angolo. Onyate wa mo winde umyanga. Amanga kutari milangwe ya somo. Fetoni kambi monye ndolo. Abana bakame umbinyo sansore. Binyo tuta misodi mandinge yende nikaye. Le patron des artistes. Bana lingi sete mo malambi jene marabu. Banga mite mondolo malambi jene marabu. Bana ki medite mo malambi jene marabu. Nyolangwe ya somona setoni gangwe nidolo. L'homme qui a créé un label pour lancer les Africains